My name is Joel Feingold. I'm located in Idlewild, California. I'm invested in the first deal, the fund. I have some in Class A and some in Class B. I think that about 6 months ago, I invested with them. And as far as I'm semi-retired, I sold my last rental property, and it was a small apartment building, and so I am enjoying the lack of service calls right now. Having been in multifamily and having a few small apartment buildings, and then houses, it's everybody needs a place to live, but it also takes an organization that understands, isn't shooting from the hip. I have invested previously in small apartment buildings, or medium size, I should say, where I was passive, and I found out what not to do. And it was obvious the company I invested with, not right away, unfortunately, but it became apparent that they had not done or didn't have the same oversight or due diligence, and obviously don't invest with them anymore. So multifamily, it does come down to, if done properly, if it's an honest organization, everybody needs a place to live, regardless of the economy. I'm not looking to greatly grow my my net worth or value. Not that I'm some super loaded guy, but I'm more about safety, preservation of capital, and steady cash flow. And so they had the one fund and the two different classes. So I put more in the higher income, steady cash flow, and some to grow a little bit of capital when they sell. But I just like, I sold my last property and created a trust, and that trust has a certain number that I have to hit on a yearly basis for revenue. And these guys fell within that parameter, percentage-wise, yearly. I just always want to know that a company is doing their due diligence, that they stick to, their parameters, the homework they've done, and they're not going to compromise, just to buy a building or make a fit. It was made clear to me on a few occasions that, they're going to put their price, what they'll pay. They're going to have their criteria of what it is that they need to see in a property before they'll buy it, and they won't compromise on that. And their experience tells them, as long as they follow that guidelines, and then they're going to be generally successful. And so, I had that concern, and they addressed it, and I feel it's a good fit. In the 6 months I've been with them, and I did, as I always do, diligent background on them, online checking. Got to speak directly with Joe, the owner, for a good amount of time on a call, and then spoke to at least 3, ended up being 4 references prior to investing. I always do it really thorough, and since I invested, I feel they're really communicative, giving me the basic numbers, having some experience with smaller apartment buildings. It looks like they've done their due diligence. They're giving me the information I need to see. There's a slight delay in getting the payment started, but that's normal. That's how it works. I get it. And now, I'm counting on seeing them every month, and it's nice. I was in the residential income property for about 12 years, self-employed for 30 years, and dealing with daily service calls for 30 years. And no longer having to do that, having a reasonable confidence that there's somebody in charge, somebody doing what they're supposed to, someone who got into the deals, having done their due diligence, that comfortability. And I hope and think it'll grow as, the half a year turns into a couple years of steady payments. But I have a degree of confidence in what they're doing, and not having, to go out and collect my rents, but getting paid passively. That's been my goal for 30 years, is to get to a passive point of income. I would say that they've got pretty good communication. They're giving me updates on the occupancy on the building, the rent collection on the building. I can get a hold of somebody when I need to. They pretty much did so far what they said they were going to do, because once you get through that slight delay, which and then payments start, they have come in steady, and they have come in on the day that they said they would. And again, it's passive, and they handle the service calls, and I don't hear about it. I mean, short answer is no service calls and passive income. They fit, again, what I'm looking to do, which is create long-term passive income. I'm a little bit of an outgoing jabberjaw of sorts, and if I like somebody and what they're doing, and I don't mind backing their play, and so I think they're the only thing I always tell people, whether I invest with them or they're investing or ask my advice is don't try to grow too quick. Keep control. I always stayed lean and mean as an investor, as a small businessman, but that meant I had to control everything and be on top of it. And after 30 years, that gets tiring. I diversified the money from the apartment building into 6 different entities, and they're all towing the line. They're all doing their job, and I did, as I say, a lot of homework on you guys, on Ashcroft, and every other entity I did, and they're all doing okay. Some I'm a little happier than others, and it is possible I might adjust, which is normal after 6 months, some of the monies I've invested. I am the trustee of the trust, and it is at least possible, as I say, that I may pull some from one fund that I invested in with another company and add to the second fund that's coming out. I've made initial indications I might do that, and reserved positions with Ashcroft to do that. If you're trying to invest money and you're trying to make 15, 18, 22%, there's a higher level of risk. But if you have a reasonable chunk that you're putting to work, and you want safe returns in the 7 to 9%, 10% as it was on the first fund, and I blended the two on the first fund, some in the 7, some in the 10, to get that number I needed, which is about 7.5% to hit my goals. I think Ashcroft is I have high hopes that I'll be with them for a while, that they'll continue to do what they're doing. They seem to be comfortable in what they're doing, and I hope that lasts for a long time, and I'm with them for a long time.